Well guys, welcome back to Real Life Alpha. So in this video I would like to talk about working remotely from home. Now due to this current pandemic, and many people were forced to work from home, which changed their lives, at least for the short term. With that in consequence, lots of changes happened to a lot of businesses, and as well as how they operate. Disclaimer, I'm 100% behind this concept. I think it's fantastic. Now that doesn't go without its downsides. So we'll first begin with the upsides. Okay, so first one that I thought was employers with this, they literally need to regard employees by their productivity. There's no more teacher's pet or employee's favorite. None. Employers really need to look at the numbers for what they actually are, which could work very well for some people and could work against some people. Now, also with this type of business model, real life, balancing is truly a reality. You have no wasted time commuting. You don't skip meals. You have lower stress, better and perhaps even more hours of sleep. You don't have to stay over due to superior's demand or request, whichever you want to name it. You don't need to also deal with dead time. That was one of the biggest problems that I had working office jobs and even like hospitality jobs, retail jobs. You had dead time sometimes, which is not good. You have your boss, your superior, your manager chasing after you. You need to be productive, even though that there's not much work to be done. That is a reality of a lot of businesses, unfortunately. Another point, the employee will rely more on its self-discipline, self-motivation, focus, communication, reliability, aka soft skills. Now, I put this on upsides, but you need to realize that some of these upsides could work against certain people. Okay, so also you avoid office drama. You have interrupting co-workers, chatters, gossip, all of that type of nonsense that is not related to the work itself, and it could literally backfire against you. You can also cut on expenses. This one's really obvious. Your employer could cut on expenses such as you don't need an office, which can lead to a better cash flow of the company. You can have better possibilities of a raise or promotions. Also less expenses for you. You don't need to commute to your workplace. It is a really big issue here in London. If you're working in an office job, very likely you cannot live in the city center where the office of your company is based. Most people here, they live in zones 3, 4, perhaps 5. It's the expenses and the commute time itself. It is really backwards if you think about it. As a bonus one, we have the lowest level of pollutions ever. This is absolutely fantastic. Just look at some of these pictures I'm going to put. Absolutely beautiful. It seems like Mother Nature itself is healing back again from these pesky parasites that we call humans. Absolutely marvelous. To me, this is one of the biggest points. Those were the upsides that I thought. Mainly, I might miss a few of them. Comment down below. Also, here's some downsides. Now, this working from home methodology, this obviously does not apply to a lot of jobs, a lot of blue-collar jobs. This does not apply to bartenders. If I'm a bartender, I cannot make drinks, digitally and serve to the customers. I cannot be a cook. I cannot be a waiter, a food runner. If I'm in the trade jobs like plumbing, electrician, those sorts of things, I cannot work remotely. I cannot drive remotely. There's lots of jobs that this just does not apply. Well, I feel really sorry for people who are going through these hard times and literally having a huge pay cut all the way down to zero. Could be difficult to set up a professional working environment. This is that although it is now almost mandatory to work from home, have you seen some weatherman having people barging in whilst they're doing their work. You could have loud noises, like here in London is quite common. Police sirens, ambulance sirens, shouting out. You could have kids shouting. You could have dogs barking, neighbors with tools. All sorts of things and variables that you can't control. And imagine that you are having an important meeting with a customer, and then you have like drilling sounds, bells ringing, all interrupting, and you could be closing a deal. Also, now the bad side is employees could be paying less just because you want to work remote. I don't understand the concept behind this. Why do you want the person so much in the office? And my last one, which is the absolute killer. The reason that a lot of people, just don't work remote is that employees just don't consider it. And this goes to show that there's an absolute lack of trust between employees and employers. Now we have, basically, employers being forced to adopt this business model due to current events, but this insecurity, this lack of trust still persists. We have had the technology available for us to do this business model for somewhere between 10 to 15 years. How long has it been for computers to actually to become affordable, internet connections actually to become affordable? I mean, here I can have the cheapest connection for under 20 quid, which is, I think it's affordable. You can have a computer for less than 200 quid, and you can do almost every job. I mean, unless you are into design, anything that pushes more onto the machine, but still it is affordable, way more affordable than back in the day. And since employers are forced to adapt this business model, I've seen some companies that operate with pieces of software that micromanage employees with features such as webcam always on and mic always on. They're detecting keystrokes. They have screenshots of your workstation. They could have little alerts that you could be searching for another job and things like that. You could have also your employer or your superior checking up on you, and you may not even be working at the said moment. And you also have eye tracking technology, all sorts of bells and whistles. And instead of that, what I would do is just invest on better sourcing. Just get proper people for your company. If you can't trust those people, why did you hire them in the first place? I think that will be it. I think I touched the main points. So my conclusion would be, hopefully after we go through all of this nonsense, remote work would be taken more into account, would be taken a little bit more serious, more employers could perhaps see the advantages and see the ups and the sides. I think that for both parties it could be highly beneficial. It makes absolutely no sense, for example, a startup company to have so many expenses that they could just cut. Why have an office when you're a startup and you're not even profitable? Just cut that expense. Final message to employers: if you're really worried about a person doing a quick cash grab from you, you can lay him off just as quickly, if not even more, than a regular employee. This is why we have trial periods, even with regular jobs, which could lead from somewhere from 2 weeks to 3 months. And then you can evaluate the employee's performance. If one of you are not happy, and then you want to terminate the connection, that's all it boils down to. Why are people so afraid, or should I say employees so afraid to hire remotely? There's so many advantages. So that'll be it. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. Leave a like, comment, and share, please. Thank you.